So meditation, dhyana, is the seventh limb. It's the seventh limb. And in the Yoga Sutras, chapter 3, verse 1, this definition of moving into the inner limbs, it's desha bandhas chittasya dharana, which means fixing the mind to one place, or anchoring the chitta, your field of consciousness, in one place, keeping it in one place, fixing the mind in one place on a single object. Now, that can be the breath, a mantra, an image, or even a concept like compassion. But you're not really getting into those inner stages until you can do this kind of focus internally, inwardly. Meditation is also defined in the second sutra of chapter 3 in the Yoga Sutras as flow of awareness towards an object. So we choose where we're directing our attention, and then there is an uninterrupted flow of that awareness. I heard another yogi talk one time. He was asked, well, how do we know, or how long do we have to hold our attention on a point or in a fixed position in order to say that, yes, we've experienced dhyana, we've experienced meditation? And he said, you have to be able to hold your attention on your chosen object for 12 full breaths. I thought, oh, well, that's easy, right? Well, it sounds easy because it's only 12 breaths. But the amount of darting around that your mind can do in the course of 1 to 3 breaths is pretty amazing. I mean, it's amazing. Like if you actually just observe it and you don't get aggravated about it or upset about it, you can be amazed by it. And the neat thing is once you become amazed by how the distractions can arise, it's like they don't become so troublesome anymore because you just think it's neat that the mind can do that. And anyway, so 12 full breaths. Okay. Well, it's harder than you think, but it's also very doable, right? And it's a milestone. It's something that you can choose, that rather than having to look at your timer or just wonder how long you've been focusing on a particular thing. Well, from this point forward, you know that your goal to access some moments of true dhyana, true meditation, well, your goal is to be able to hold your awareness on a point of focus for 12 breaths. And you start small. You just try it for 1 breath. And eventually you build up. So you treat it as though it's a very attainable situation, a very attainable situation. So keep that in mind, 12 breaths. And then whenever you're meditating, you do your meditation techniques to direct your chitta, your consciousness. And we need to do those techniques. And once you get a feel for the techniques that you like, that you're really able to sink your awareness into, well, the next step would be, all right, so now I'm going to start working towards these 12 breaths. And eventually one day you'll do it. And you'll recognize in that moment you have accessed this inner limb of dhyana, of meditation. And everything else that you've done, practicing the yamas and niyamas, being able to sit still, asana, cycling through the pranayamas that you know to help stabilize the mind and to help keep the energies flowing smoothly in the body without distraction or obstruction. All of that was part of the structure that allowed you to experience this definition of meditation as an uninterrupted flow of awareness towards an object. And then the question comes up, all right, what about samadhi? Well, I have other videos and talks and podcasts and descriptions on samadhi. I talked about it a lot during the retreat last year, the solstice retreat last year. But how can you know when your dhyana turns into samadhi? Well, this yogi had an answer for that too. He said, when you can hold your attention for 144 breaths, 12 times 12. So when you are able to maintain your focus on your chosen point for 144 breaths, you're going to know that you've experienced samadhi. I guarantee you're going to know it. So again, 144. Well, that seems like a lot. And compared to how scattered we are with our ways of focusing, yeah, it probably is. But it's not. Ultimately, in the course of a lifetime, that is not that much. If people can memorize the Yoga Sutras, if people can memorize this, that, and the other, if people can focus on a particular thing for an extended amount of time, well, they can also work towards holding their awareness wherever it's important to them for 144 breaths. And then they'll experience a quality of samadhi with that.